Welcome to San Antonio, Texas, and remember the Alamo Dome is home to the Roadrunners of UTSA, and we are fired up to get this game underway. Today, a Big Ten clash, and you know when you square off against a conference opponent, the blood boils a little hotter. As we'll see, the Fresno State Bulldogs taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the UTSA Roadrunners. 48 Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Roadrunners will get us started with the opening kickoff. Out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. So Fresno State's return team didn't help matters out much there. And here he comes, guys, the man who makes everything go.
Everything in this offense is built around his ability. He's got such great field vision. He's got it all, Palmer.
He is must-watch TV. Let's not get it twisted. People show up to this stadium. People are watching back at home because of this guy right here.
The give out of the gun. Not a lot of room there. Give him a couple to the 16.
Now, that's what you try to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll try the run. He kept those legs moving, got 3 out to the 19. Third down, and they'll need 5 to keep this opening drive moving. Back to throw, it's Morris. He's got the tight end. And he converts on 3rd down as he gets it out to the 26. The Bulldogs have it with a 1st and 10. It's a draw. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now, listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Quarterback wants to throw on 2nd down. Got his man downfield. Can anyone catch him? And he's brought down after a huge completion. And the Bulldogs come to the line in the hurry-up.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Got his man out of the backfield. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
When they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field, you saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
The 7th play of this opening drive will be a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Strong pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
And these situations, 3rd and eternity, I know exactly what to do. I'm putting more DBs on the field. I know it's a pass, my best pass defenses, and then I turn my pass rushers loose. Go get that QB.
Fresno State will have to punt it away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. First boot of the day is on its way. He was called on 3 times in that loss last week. That is just gorgeous. Knocks it out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. So the UTSA Roadrunners offense has its first opportunity of the day. As we take a look at our impact players for this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job of it.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on, the teammates look towards them to step up in big games like this.
Gets them away from trouble. That's a pickup of 6. Mark it at the 10.
Well, I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Grab near the marker. It's Davis. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down.
The number one goal as a defense is try to hit the QB as many times as possible. Try to rattle him. Try to get him flustered a little bit. Nice job getting there, getting the hit on him, but nice job of executing by the quarterback. Taking the hit, delivering the strike.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Trying to escape and get it himself. He scrambled forward and got a few and turned that into a positive play. And the Roadrunners want to crank the tempo. He's looking for a man on 2nd down. Shoots it to the left. He's got it. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense. The Roadrunners are flying down the field. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Pocket starts to collapse. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Spin, still running. And he was on his way, and they get him down at the 30. No matter how many times they tell you to look for it, it is tough to defend a perfectly executed screen.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go get the quarterback, and everything looks like pass, but when you see it, when you see that screen, you got to retrace your steps, get back in the play. Nice job by the offense, but the defense just has to recognize that a little bit sooner.
They'll snap it from the 30 on 1st down. Wide receiver shows motion. Makes the grab. It's awesome. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, UT San Antonio.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the PAT makes it 7-0. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll return it. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. And don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 4. Handoff from the gun. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
And that seemed a little off from the start, didn't it?
That was a big-time play, and it was off from the start because of the play he made.
And I don't think it would have mattered who was playing running back. There was absolutely nowhere to go.
To the air, it's Morris. They're trying to get to it. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
Fresno State will have to punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He gets a block. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. UTSA takes over in the offense, ready to hit the field. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
It was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a 1st down.
And that is exactly why you stick to running the football. Haven't had a lot of success, but boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just throw the football every down. Love the offense sticking to the run. Nice job getting the 1st down.
They run the reverse. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
Right, how about this offense? You think of this offense, you think of throwing the football and top 10 passing in all of college football, but the defense knew something, right? Like you could tell they were going to come out and run the football. They brought out the goal line, brought in some big boys, and really was ready for the run on that play.
And whatever they did on 1st and 2nd down, don't do that anymore. 3rd and very long coming up. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. Unloads to the wideout. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
And defensive backs, you think, don't have good hands. The big fella shows it. How about that defensive back going up and getting the interception? Nice job breaking on the football. You say that's why you play defense, because you don't have hands? Yeah, I bet you do.
Fresno State takes over, and the offense will go back to work. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the pick.
Quarterback tried to scramble around for a while, but the defense able to bring him down.
Well, that defender just was better in his one-on-one on the pass rush. He does a great job beating the offensive lineman to get to the QB.
Now the offense has to overcome the negative play after the defense comes up with a sack. Out of the gun, the inside give. Can't get him to the ground. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Listen, defense is about energy. It's about passion. It's about physicality. They need a little bit more of that. Get the guy in the ground. Get the guys break tackles. What could have been set up in a long yardage situation, now it becomes an easier situation because you couldn't get him on the ground.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great job of contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the side.
Off he goes! Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football, you know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
They had this offense backed up. Now they have to be staggering. Can they deliver another punch on 1st and 10 from inside the 40? Looking to move it through the air. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Plows ahead for a pickup of 1 to the 32.
Runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
At the end of the quarter, guys, it's UTSA holding the edge. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the 2nd. Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws for the tight end. Got his man all by himself. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Roadrunner.
Oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. South Carolina has the lead right now, but this Williams-Bryce crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. They're up by 4 over LSU. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Here comes the offense on 1st down. Pulled it, finds his man on the left. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
I'll tell you, for this defense, they're going to have to find a way to bracket this slot receiver because of how athletic he is. They're going to need to make sure they've got linebackers and DBs surrounding this guy at all times.
Kept it on the ground on 1st down, now back to the line. To the air, it's Morris. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. And the tackle is made, but not before that completion gets them 30-plus. Fresno State right back to the line.
He's been a matchup problem all season long. Defenses just don't know how to solve the puzzle. And with that last catch, over 500 yards receiving now on the year for him.
And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out.
Delay of game. Offense.
The delay of game pushes the offense back. Offense set on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Got him downfield. Dances away again. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. Fresno State back to work with a fresh set of downs.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Fresno State.
Anytime you've got a successful run play on the ground, you've got to have great blocking up front. The offensive line, receivers, everybody doing their job. And that helped lead to the home run.
Lining up for the PAT. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And what a way to finish it off with a 21-yard touchdown run. Kickoff team lining up to send this one away. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. UTSA takes over in the offense, ready to hit the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication is going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next game.
He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, right? It's been really hard for this offense in this game to run the football, but they finally break off a big run there. That could be the play they need to really generate momentum and get this run game going.
Leaves it with the back. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job by the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
When they've got him looking run, now to pass. Throwing right. Or did he find a hole in that secondary? A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
What a beautiful throw and catch on this play, and I love the job the receiver did tracking the ball in the air. Nice job of locating the throw and then hauling it in.
And the Roadrunners are rolling down the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Looking to the big tight end. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Touchdown, UTSA! Hauled it in and just kept right on running to the hallelujah land.
Have a day, young fella. I foresee some social media posts in his future. Not 1, not 2, but 3 receiving touchdowns on the day. What a ball that he played.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they covered the final 29 yards with that touchdown pass. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He gets it across the 25 to the 27 after bringing it out of the end zone. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
And here comes the offense on second down. Back to throw, it's Morris. Coming after it. And the quarterback is snowed under.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally... They're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's up to 25. From the gun, wants to pass. And this defense goes back-to-back sack, Jack.
And giving up 3 sacks a week ago. Now you've already given up 4 sacks. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback. Give him a little bit more time.
Fresno State will have to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Makes a move. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Line gets set, first down.
42 Spider. 4-2 Spider.
He wants to throw. Looking left. Intercepted. Looking for more room. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And this is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but man, what great field position this time.
I mean, this is awesome. Like, last possession didn't go great. Now you're set up in an opportunity to get some points. Start thinking about what plays I like, Jesse, as I cross the 50.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there, David, and in this position, they like to take a shot right away and try and capitalize on this field position.
And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And a great job by the linebacker. You can tell starting to crowd the line of scrimmage, get up there in the line of scrimmage, see it, diagnose it, get in the backfield, get the running back on the ground for the tackle for the loss.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Defense becomes even more heightened in this area of the field. You get the short yard situations, the goal to go situations. They got to be dialed in. That's 2 big stops in a row by this defense, forcing a 3rd and goal, putting some pressure now on this offense.
3rd and goal from way back there. Looking for a man. It's Morris. Extending the play. Great job to get down with the slide after getting everything you could.
What a 3rd down stop by this defense. 3rd down and goal, no problem. You know that guy. Every time he touches the football, you hold your breath because he's so dynamic at the quarterback spot. They were ready, and they forced the 4th and goal.
That is no good. Guys, a missed field goal and nothing changes. Still a 14-point game.
Well, that's one the kicker would like to have back. That's a kick he should be making in his sleep.
UTSA takes over in the offense, ready to hit the field. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lined up.
As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. Perfect play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Gets it out quickly. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. That one's sort of like a shooter in basketball, just needing to see one go through the net, isn't it, David? Just get a completion to your guy and pick up some yardage.
Build some confidence, because your confidence throwing the ball over the middle of the field and in tight windows, probably not at an all-time high, but check it down, make something positive happen. The running back does his job, so maybe this sparks a little something in the quarterback's head where he can feel a little bit more confident and bounce back from these early mistakes.
Makes the grab, and it's enough for the 1st down before he's dragged to the ground.
Right, 2nd quarter, getting closer to the half. Offense is still having a lot of success stringing some 1st downs together. Defense is going to need to figure something out before they get to halftime.
The Roadrunners with the 1st and 10. They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
That is such a nice example of the defense reading and reacting and locating the football on the sweep play. They weren't fooled at all. They knew they were trying to go to the outside. They got leverage, corralled the back, got him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. The short hand, it's Davis.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Defense trying to come up with a stop on 3rd and short from the 37. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. He can't make the grab. It's incomplete, but there is a flag, and I believe this is going to be pass interference.
And the defender just way too handsy on that. See all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
The defense in a most benevolent move, giving the offense a new set of downs. Going up top on first down. Trying to make magic with his feet. Got enough space. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
And you're seeing here the difficulties defenses have trying to contain this guy. If you leave a lane open or you don't sack him right away, you allow him to get outside the pocket, he is going to take off, and he is very difficult to tackle in the open field. He's got running back-like ability out in space.
He'll do it himself. Touchdown, UT San Antonio! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. He is such a dangerous weapon as a runner. It's almost as if it makes the defense tentative because they know the slightest of errors, and he's to the house.
No doubt about it. This is a guy that's going to hurt defenses throwing the football and running the ball as well, and stresses your defense in so many different ways. So this defensive coordinator now has got to find new ways to try and slow him down, contain him. You just got to get the ball out of his hands, because when he's got it, man, he can kill.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. South Carolina is ahead in Columbia, but that's not exactly George Rogers out there scoring touchdowns. This game is a long way from being over. They're up by 4 over LSU. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected, fellas.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really concerned.
And down he goes back at the 3.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, a stirring start to things today in San Antonio as we say hello from our broadcast studios. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by acknowledging the sparkling play of this tight end. The guy's like an aircraft carrier out there as a blocker. And then when he releases and shows off that speed and route running, he's almost unguardable. Gotta believe he won't be able to go anywhere in this second half without someone attached to his hip. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside the Alamo Dome.
Fresno State lined up to kick off and start this second half. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. Showing the arm strength to the left. And he hauls it in at the 30. The expressway is wide open. Touchdown, Roadrunner! And the stomping has commenced.
And the defense lets the big tight end get behind him, and you could see it. When he saw his tight end streaking down the field, he knew he had to throw it up in the air, let him go make a play. He does it. Big play for this offense.
PAT unit on the field. And the extra point sails through, and they have a 35-7 lead. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown just like that. The kickoff team takes the field to boot this one away. He'll bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. Trying to find his man on first down. It's complete to the right. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
And a lot of coaches put a lot of emphasis on situational type running, right? When it's a goal-to-go situation, short yardage situation, like when I need to run the football and they know I'm running the football. Right there, haven't had a lot of success, but I needed a few yards to get the first down. Great job by the offensive line creating some space and getting the first down.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the gun, to give, looking for room. Defense fills those gaps. He's got one to the 28. And you've already sent your punter out 4 times. At least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. It's caught downfield. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
And he'll pick up the first down after a tough run there.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea, because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch, as you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
Scanning the field, it's Morris. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
Listen, I would get rid of that thing fast, too, if I've been sacked that many times today. They're coming every angle. Everybody's coming. They've got to me the whole day. Can somebody please get my back?
Here comes the offense on 2nd down. Off the bootleg to buy a little space. Makes a connection. And a nice grab there. Big pickup down to the 35-yard line.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in early to his quarterback, knowing that his players were going to be able to execute.
Off the play fake on 1st down. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
Yeah, and a really good job by the defender, understanding the ball's coming. I got to break on it and go, and not try to intercept it and make a bad play. He swats it down and makes sure that's an incompletion.
Didn't connect last time. Let's see if they throw it again on 2nd down. They go to the ground. Had to work to pick up 3 down to the 33-yard line. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Fires to the tight end. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a 1st and goal from the 10.
Really nice job there of the quarterback reading coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football and at what exact time. The timing could not have been better. They get the completion on third down, setting up first and goal.
Keeping it on the ground on first and goal. Forges ahead for one to the 8-yard line.
At the 8-yard line. It's now second and goal.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Got his man quickly. Touchdown Bulldogs! Made the grab and finished the deal in the end zone. Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime adjustments and they go blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now. But it might be too little too late, but at least you got the party started.
Lining up to add another. And the extra point is good. They still trail 35-14. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. UTSA takes over in the offense, ready to hit the field. A quick strike touchdown up top the last time they had it, Jesse. They'd love to do it again.
No doubt. They've got so many playmakers on the perimeter, David. Just find a way to get these guys the ball in space.
And you already started, man. Making that big play, opening up this offense. This quarterback is feeling good about himself. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it right back to him.
Delay of game. Offense.
So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. On first down, here comes this offense.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
Looking for a man. It's Fisher. Finds his tight end. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
Unleashes one. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
Third down conversions, always a huge stat, and they've got a third and long from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. Buys a little extra time. At the 40, there he goes. He's finally stopped, but a big play there with his feet as he moves those sticks.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it. And the Roadrunners are moving quickly down the field. They're going back to the ground. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's first down.
Well, they get another big run for a first down, and if you're on offense, you love the way your offensive line is blocking early in this game. They're getting tremendous movement, and they're making life pretty easy for these running backs right now.
The Roadrunners have it with a 1st and 10. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Looking to go up top on first down. Starting to feel a little pressure. He's going to take off. Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown! save. And the pummeling has started.
I mean, you talk about calling a pretty good defense you feel good about, and you take away the pass, and what does the quarterback do? He pulls it down and just shows the speed, basically becomes a running back, takes it all the way to the house, and makes your defense look silly.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. SMU has opened up its largest lead of the game in what's shaping up to be one of the more one-sided affairs of the weekend.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped. When he brought it out of the end zone, he'll be stopped at the 15. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled, you realize what's going on. Now, I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
Looking to throw, it's Morris. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And this is why this team is losing this game. They cannot protect their quarterback. He's already been sacked a bunch of times, almost got sacked right there. This guy doesn't have a chance with the way this offensive line is playing.
They've already punted 4 times in this game, and they're about to run the guy out there for a 5th time if they don't pick up the first down here. They'll try to power their way ahead. They get him down, but they'll mark it beyond the line to gain. It's first down, Fresno State.
That is how it's done on third down and short. No doubt about it. An easy hole to get through and clearly get the first down.
If you really want to simplify football, the low man wins. That time the offense got the better of the D. Easily picked that up.
A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Fighting off the defender. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
This defense has got to get better at tackling in the open field or game tackling, because if you need 3 or 4 guys to bring a guy down, have fun with that.
They'll try to get the first through the air. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack.
And it's been a long day. I mean, there's not much to point out that this offense has done well. They're behind huge, and they got no shot if they can't somehow find a way to protect their quarterback.
Fresno State will have to punt. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. He'll call for the fair catch here. UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice.
Oh, look out! And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
How nice is it as a quarterback when you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
On the double.
So that big play changes the complexion of things. It's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Dropping back, it's Fisher. He'll pull it down. They finally make the stop, and he shows why he is dangerous on the run, too, and he's got a 1st down.
These guys aren't human anymore. I mean, they got to survey the field, throw the football, make deep passes, and then guess what else? They pull the ball down, take off, and make big chunks of plays on the ground. It's just impossible to be on defense nowadays.
They'll go to the ground. Tough running this deep in the red zone. He's got 4 down to the 11. At the end of the quarter, guys, it's UTSA holding the edge. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive 4th quarter comeback. Second down now as they're ready to go back to work.
Let's go.
Works his way ahead for about 3. It's down at the 8.
It's always fun to watch offensive creativity in the red zone. Like, how are you going to get some space for your guy? They try the toss, get him out wide, maybe get him some space. The defense was ready. Nice job falling forward, getting at least a little bit on the play.
The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. 3rd down. They can't pick up the 1st without scoring. Little touch pass to the receiver. Touchdown, UT San Antonio. And the punishment has been extended. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this 2-game slide.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Coming out with it, it's Davis. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Makes the grab. It's Montgomery. Stopped at the 24-yard line after the 10-yard gain. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. He's looking to throw it right down the middle. Wide open downfield. And he gets it to the 45-yard. It'll be a 1st down.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Now on second down after the incompletion. Back to pass, it's Levis. Quarterback floating away from pressure. He'll try to do it himself. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, just nowhere to go there. And it started in the pocket. It was collapsing. Quarterback felt it, so he tried to get outside and make something happen himself, but give the defense tons of credit. Excellent job in pursuit.
And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes.
That is now the 7th sack on defense. This offense cannot protect their QB. It doesn't matter if the defense is blitzing or if they're just winning one-on-one. 7 sacks. That's just ridiculous.
Fresno State will have to punt it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. He'll bring it back. It's Thomas. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. UTSA takes over and the offense ready to hit the field. This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. On the move. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of the game.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. They'll run play action. Finds the tight end.
You know, the tight end's going to have to do a better job of separating and giving his quarterback a place to go with the football. That time just couldn't create it, and as a result, as soon as he made the catch, he was brought to the ground, setting up fourth down.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
This is so a Jesse Palmer move. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Got to look good in the polls. This is your kind of offense, Palmer.
Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
They'll start this drive with a pass. Makes his connection.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Completion a little short of the sticks. It's second down. Back to pass. It's Levis. They're working that left side. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They looked like they could execute that throw in their sleep. Quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Short gain on the play before he slides.
Those always sting a little bit. When you get so close to getting the QB to the ground, creating a negative play, and then all of a sudden he turns it into something positive, just really annoying as a defensive guy.
Now on second down. Quarterback on the keeper. He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stopped.
And now a big third down coming up. Down multiple possessions. This is one, Palmer, I'm looking for 6. I'm not trying to kick a field goal. I want to cut into this lead with a touchdown.
No, you got to have it. And also, considering all of that, this is 4-down territory too. So you need to identify who are your best players on offense and how can you give them a chance to score this touchdown.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this offense, man, it's been a struggle bus. And they haven't clicked yet. They haven't found what they're really, really good at. And I'll tell you this, it's later in the fourth quarter, later in the game, obviously. They need to start airing this thing out. We got to get back in this football game because I don't know if y'all realize this, but we're down by a lot.
The run up the middle, trying to power to the goal line. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
And this is the area of the field where you need a really good back. You can depend on, you can give him the football. He's going to hit a little crease and just lower his shoulder, be physical, be powerful. You saw last week he got a rushing touchdown. I look for this offense to continue to feed him and maybe get him another one today.
They want to power it in on the ground on 3rd and goal. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Fresno State. In a lot of losses, you just want to burn the tape. You don't want to watch it. But I think there are some things that they can take into next week from this performance.
No doubt. Offense is about finding your rhythm, finding your groove, what you do well. And you can tell, at least now, starting to get a little something going that maybe you can build on.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And it's perfect. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. Colorado is currently trailing in this one, but I've seen crazier things at Folsom Field. Trust me when I tell you that. Guess what I'm saying is a comeback could be in the cards. They're trailing by just 4 to South Alabama. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here. Guys?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Not much there. Picks up a couple to the 22.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
The give, and tick, 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 tick. Gets it out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 3. They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 25. To throw, it's Fisher. Quarterback moving. Going to try to get it himself. And the defense had its hands full, but they finally wrestle him down short of the 1st down.
There was just nowhere to go with the football for the quarterback throwing it. So he tried to create, he tried to extend the play with his legs, just not able to get away from the defense, and now we have 4th down.
This offense has failed on its previous 2 4th down attempts, but they need to keep this drive alive. Pressure coming. Unloaded just as he throws. It's incomplete, and they stop him on 4th down. Fresno State takes over, and the offense will go back to work. 1st down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Use the play fake, now to throw. Looking to the big tight end. He's got an open man. They bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense.
Here we go.
They'll throw it on 1st down. And here's a fumble way behind the line. And they lost the ball out of bounds, and it'll be a loss of yardage on that one.
And, man, is that a just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a
Headed to the end zone. Crisp execution in the passing game, and they've got it down to the 3.
And I know this football game is over, but we got to keep fighting. We got to keep finding something, some kind of rhythm in this offense, something we can hang our hat on that we do really.
And that one is picked off in the end zone. Really nice focus by this sophomore, and he jumped on his chance to make a play.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. Fourth quarter, I got to lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. This is quickly turning into a celebration, Jesse, as they've taken control of this game.
And they should feel good about how they've played.
He's got it downfield for a huge gain. Flying out to the left. Touchdown, Roadrunners. And the route is on. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this two-game slide.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me, or I should get conserved, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he'll bring it out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Here comes the Fresno State offense onto the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent team.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough.
Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. He's at the 30. 10. I'm sorry you're unlikely to win today, but here's a fabulous parting gift. A late touchdown. The result of this game is going to sting for sure, but you've got to continue to build, you've got to improve, and you can take some positives out of this late hustle and build for next week.
There's always positives, and coaches are always looking for those things that we did well. What did we do well so we can do more of it in the future? Finding some things here late that they did well.
On to attempt the try. Smashes it through for the PAT. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown just like that. The kickoff team out there getting set. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. UTSA takes over in the offense, ready to hit the field. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes. If you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring, I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
I agree 1,000%. That's like Steve Spurrier back in the day when I was playing for the Gators. You go and play for him because you want the opportunity to throw the ball. So when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop it.
They They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now first down from the 39. Use the play fake. Now to throw. He'll let it go down the right side. Throws it back across his body, and what do you think happened? Intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Obviously, this game hasn't gone the way they would have liked, but coaches are always looking for positive moments and things that you can build on. How about that young man going out, getting an interception? Yeah, they're being blown out. They're probably not going to win this football game, but that is the type of play that as a coaching staff you can build on for next week's game.
Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back to work. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we had just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David, but I'll say this. If you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, that you're talking about.
Got to like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near them.
Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. The Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man, doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
The first down sack pushes the ball back for this long 2nd down. Looking to throw, it's Levis. Fires left. Complete in the middle. And that will be the final play as the clock strikes 0 here. Well, this one had all the suspense of a bug hurtling his way toward a windshield, and they did splatter them. An absolutely dominating performance.
You got to give the coaching staff a ton of credit. They obviously had their guys ready to play and motivated right from the opening kick. All 3 phases we saw, just spectacular football. No mental mistakes, David. You really can't play better than that.
Nah, and it's really fun to do this. Come out and just dominate opponents. Start from finish. Nothing to worry about. You just know you're better. You're going to do you, put up a bunch of points, and win by a lot of points.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.